Thank you all for joining us today as we announce an indictment charging 7 Russian military officers with violations of several U.S. criminal laws for malicious cyber activities against the United States and its allies. I'm joined today by the U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Pennsylvania, Scott Brady, the FBI's Deputy Assistant Director for Cyber, Eric Welling, and Director General of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, Mark Flynn. A short while ago, the Dutch Minister of Defense and the United Kingdom's National Security Advisor held a joint press conference announcing a recent intelligence operation against several Russian agents conducting a clandestine mission in The Hague. The joint UK-Dutch intelligence operation led to 4 Russian GRU officers being caught red-handed while they attempted to breach the cybersecurity of the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. This GRU target and an additional laboratory in Switzerland that was their next target were analyzing the deadly Russian nerve agent recovered in the UK following an assassination attempt, as well as other chemical agents that were used in Syria against innocent civilians.
How these investigations got started.
Our indictment today charges some of the same Russian operatives caught in The Hague, along with their colleagues in Moscow, as part of a conspiracy to hack a variety of individuals and organizations in the United States, Canada, and Europe to obtain information or access that was then exploited for the benefit of the Russian government. More specifically, this indictment alleges a conspiracy to use computer hacking to obtain non-public personal health information about athletes and others in the files of anti-doping agencies and sporting federations in multiple countries, and to release that stolen information selectively and sometimes misleadingly. All of this was done to undermine those organizations' efforts to ensure the integrity of the Olympic and other games. Other targets of this conspiracy were the Chemical Weapons Laboratory in The Hague and a nuclear power company here in America.
Westinghouse plays in here since it seems to be apart from some of the other sports.
The crux of this indictment, which U.S. Attorney Scott Brady will describe in more detail, is the GRU's targeting of the World Anti-Doping Agency, the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, and the Canadian Centre for Ethics in Sport, which is Canada's anti-doping body. The GRU did so in response to the efforts of anti-doping officials' exposure of Russia's systematic and state-backed athlete doping program. Embarrassed by that truth, Russia fought back by retaliating against the truth tellers and against the truth itself.
Sir, number one,
there were hundreds of victims targeted by these Russian criminals. The defendants targeted athletes and anti-doping agencies as retaliation for the outing of Russia's state-sponsored athlete doping program. As John said, the victims included approximately 250 athletes from 30 countries, as well as U.S. and international anti-doping agencies such as WADA, USADA, CSIS, the Court of Arbitration for Sport, the International Association of Athletics Federation, FIFA, and as many as 35 other anti-doping or sporting federations.
About the Dutch intelligence service, it says that
they targeted Westinghouse, a nuclear power company based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, that supplied nuclear fuel to the Ukraine. They targeted the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, which was investigating the use of chemical weapons in Syria and the poisoning of a former GRU officer and his daughter in the UK. And they targeted a lab in Switzerland that analyzed the nerve agent used in that poisoning.
You say that you want to bring these people fancy bear to justice. When people are out... Thank you very much.
Thank you all.